why you looking bummy? We tryna get this money. They won't be grinding when it's cold and when it's sunny. So why you looking bummy? So why you looking bummy? Yeah, that's why your wifey's on the way. Cause she knows with this lifestyle we don't play.
Hey, how's it going, all you most basic top teners? I'm your host for today, Landon Dallating, and welcome back to a brand new video. Let me know in the comment section below, how long do you guys think a life sentence should be? Okay, so there are a lot of criminals who commit horrible crimes and evil crimes. So when it is their time to face verdicts, a lot of these criminals have different intense reactions to their sentencing. So here are the top 10 convicts who freak out after given a life sentence. Starting off this list, number 10, with the mother and daughter's desperate plea. An 18-year-old teenager was sentenced to 20 years in prison. She used a dating app to set up a robbery that resulted in another teenager getting shot. When the judge handed down her sentence, the girl's mother dropped to the floor, crying out of extreme grief. The teenage girl was screaming for her mother and begging the judge to give her a lighter sentence. And oh yeah, I have a video clip of this. Watch.
That fake cry,
Here comes into number 9, Brandon Spencer at a Halloween party store, and this took place at the University of Southern California. He was charged with 4 counts of attempted murder, and this is his reaction to his arraignment.
Oh, good.
21-year-old Brandon Spencer of Inglewood bangs his head as a judge sentences him to 2 years to life after he was convicted of shooting a rival gang member at a 2012 Halloween party on the USC campus.
Now, if you're in a
Number
rival
8
gang,
brings
you
us
shoot
to
other
2
gangs.
females who freak out
this.
after receiving
Trust
a
me,
life
that's
sentence.
the gang signs. Where do you think it was going to go? Fame and fortune. Oh no, I'm back.
These 2 women collapsed in court after they were both handed life sentences for the death of a 2-year-old girl. Shortly after the judge read their sentencing, they fell to the floor with emotional outcries, and they had to be wheeled out of the courtroom. Okay, moving into number 7, definitely unlucky number 7 for this one. Jalal Hoskins pleaded guilty to second-degree murder after tampering with evidence after he violently murdered a mother of 5 and dumped her body in a trash dumpster. When the judge ordered him to serve a life sentence without the possibility of parole, he threw the podium towards the judge, and he had to be dragged out of the courtroom by the deputies. Take a look at this.
You know when he gets
Man
trying to
fights
put
the
his good
deputies
at
comes
said
in number 6. A 19-year-old
Behind the
received a
scenes.
sentence of life imprisonment after he shot and killed another man in an attempt to rob him. The convicted killer was still hopeful that he would at least get the chance of parole, but when the judge said that parole was out of the question, it sparked an aggressive outburst. You guys won't believe this. Take a look.
That's the margins. My baby. I lied. Oh, man.
Number 5 takes us to a man threatening to kill the judge. I mean, come on. Is this real life right now? During his trial, Juan Rodriguez was being convicted of murder for stabbing a nurse at a mental health facility. Instead of making any last-minute pleas, he threatens to kill the judge if he didn't let him out of jail, like as if that was going to work.
Nah, for real. We'll just like, you don't
don't
sound
let me
healthy,
out of here, I'm
but
gonna
you
kill you. I'm a Jew. I wanna take your life if you don't let me out of here. Okay? I'm done.
Yeah, that's probably not the smartest thing to say to a judge who literally has your fate in her hand. A 19-year-old man went into an aggressive rage after a jury sentenced him to death for a murder, and this comes into number 4. He began knocking down chairs before he was tackled by dozens of courtroom officers who eventually dragged him out of the courtroom. Take a look at this outburst.
with the mom,
It's the mom in the background screaming the most.
Listen to the lady just, actually the original. Yeah, she's...
Stun gun shocks its way into number 3. Andrew Worth was charged with first-degree murder after he shot and killed a police officer. His bail was set at $1 million. And after the judge sentenced him, this is how he reacted.
Got them soft lips.
The officers had to use an electric stun gun to calm him down before they carried him out of the courtroom. Okay, moving on. Number 2 brings us to Michael Marin. After he was found guilty of arson and almost facing a life sentence behind bars, he placed his hands over his mouth and swallowed something. A few minutes later, he began gagging and he died in the courtroom. A toxicology report discovered
You ain't taking me alive
with cyanide after he heard the verdict of his sentencing. This is insane.
Appears to swallow something after the verdict is read. Notice as he reaches down and appears to get something from his bag. He then
Bitch, I ain't.
swallows something and
What was
appears
that?
to swallow
No,
again. But 8 minutes later, Marin starts convulsing and collapses.
A violent man makes its way into number 1. A judge sentenced Marshall Iguana to 40 years in prison for aggravated assault after he cut his niece with a butcher knife. After he heard the sentencing, he used a thin blade from a safety razor and he slit his own throat in an apparent suicide attempt. He did survive, and he'll probably receive more time for sneaking contraband into the courtroom. Well, there you guys have it. That is the end of this video.